E-Verify is the federal government's single most effective program against illegal immigration. For that reason, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, ethnocentric interest groups all want it dead. Congress has reportedly stripped language now from the so-called stimulus legislation that would have continued funding for the program. Lisa Sylvester has our report.
The White House says that the stimulus package will help create or save more than 3 million jobs. To make sure those jobs go to American workers and other legal residents, Representative Jack Kingston, a Republican, offered an amendment. It reauthorized the employment verification system known as E-Verify and mandated the companies that receive stimulus money verify their employees' legal status. But a similar amendment offered by Senator Jeff Sessions was not included in the Senate version. And in conference committee, the employment verification measure was reportedly taken out altogether, drawing sharp criticism from Republicans.
I think it's outrageous when you think about somebody whose house has been foreclosed or somebody who's been laid off and they've got kids going to college and their savings have been wiped out. They need a job right now. They're not going to be too picky. And if they hear that illegal aliens are taking some of these jobs that are going to be created from the stimulus package, they're going to be outraged, and they should be.
The Congressional Hispanic Caucus wrote a letter to the Democratic leadership urging them to take out the provision, writing that foreign-born American citizens are 30 times more likely than native-born workers to be incorrectly identified as ineligible to work. Other concerns were expressed by business groups. The American Council on International Personnel saying that for its larger members, it would take 12 to 18 months to screen employees.
We oppose the amendment, however, that would tie stimulus funding to mandatory E-Verify use, because we think it would delay one of the goals of this bill, which is to quickly get funding into infrastructure projects that are shovel-ready.
But Numbers USA, which favors tighter immigration restrictions, argues requiring E-Verify only makes sense if U.S. taxpayers are footing the nearly $800 billion bill. There should be provisions to ensure they should get the jobs.
When you start using E-Verify, you immediately start opening up jobs that otherwise go to illegal aliens, and you open up to unemployed Americans and to unemployed legal immigrants.
Now, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus says that they are concerned that the E-Verify program will produce errors and misidentify workers as ineligible. But in fact, according to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, which runs E-Verify, 99.5% of all work-authorized employees are verified without having to take any corrective steps. Lou?
Yeah, I mean, let's be really clear. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce doesn't want Buy American provisions. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce wants the outsourcing of jobs. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce wants as many H-1B visas as possible to bring unlimited numbers of cheap foreign workers into this country, and they want amnesty. They want nothing done to stop illegal immigration. It's disgraceful that the Chamber of Commerce even has U.S. in its title. When you say it's the most effective, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and Lou, we should mention that we invited the U.S. Chamber of Commerce to do an interview on this piece on E-Verify, and they declined our request.
They are many things, the so-called former U.S. Chamber of Commerce, I will call them, well, honest and brave. I don't think you can put those two words near them. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Lisa Sylvester. Now joining me on more of what can be done with E-Verify and working hard to save it, Senator Jeff Sessions, Republican from Alabama, and Congressman Lamar Smith, ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce, I love that, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, is behind the effort to kill this, which it looks like it's been extraordinarily successful. How can the U.S. Chamber of Commerce even be permitted to have U.S. in its title?
Well, there's no principle basis or argument they can make against this proposal. I just flatly reject the idea that this is going to cause extraordinary delay and expense. It's being done voluntarily by 100,000 different employers in America today, voluntarily. They wouldn't do it if it was a burden, so I reject that argument.
Congressman Smith, I know you've got to be disappointed as Senator Sessions and all of us who care about this country and actually government programs that do work. What steps can be taken now?
Lou, first of all, as you just said, this program does expire in March, and it's just incredible that the Democrats are letting it expire. They are literally putting illegal immigrants ahead of American workers, and that's what's most disappointing. I think that there will be a public outrage over their refusal to protect American workers and try to reduce illegal immigration. So because of that public outrage, and I think all true reform starts with the people, I expect and hope that the Democrats will respond and will be able to continue this program and even make it mandatory for those who are doing getting federal contracts with the government. Anything else simply says that they may talk about reducing illegal immigration, they may talk about saving jobs for American workers, but they don't mean it and their actions don't show it.
Let me ask you both, and if I may, Senator Sessions, start with you. A new report from the Migration Policy Institute is supportive of reauthorization of the E-Verify program. At the same time, Janet Napolitano, the new Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, has referred to the E-Verify program as integral to the department's work. Against that backdrop, do you think it'll mean anything at all to the debate as to whether it lives or dies?
I think so. To me, it's unthinkable that this would not pass and be extended. And Lou, but there was definite planning here. They let the House vote 407-2 to pass this. They kept the Senate from even voting, and they went to conference knowing that they planned to take this language out. So there was a deliberate action, I believe, and I think Lamar might agree, to conduct a process in this fashion that allowed votes to look like people were voting for it, but in fact there was a plan to undermine it.
Do you agree, Congressman?
I certainly do agree with the Senator. This was their intent all along. And again, they talk the words. They say they want to protect American jobs or they want to reduce illegal immigration. But when it comes to actions, when it comes to actually passing legislation that is going to protect jobs for American workers and will be a disincentive for illegal workers to come into the United States to get those jobs, they frankly are missing in action. The American people are going to find this out, and it will be a political and an election issue.
A political and election issue, is it one that you think you'll prevail on?
I think that we absolutely will. When we're on the side of the American worker and saving those jobs for American workers, you have 11 million people today in the United States who are unemployed. You have 7 million people who are working illegally. Let's get those jobs for American workers.
Yeah, if you include, Senator Sessions, the unemployed, those who've just given up on looking for a job, who've been employed 6 months or longer, if you include those who are working part-time who want full-time jobs, that number rises to 22 million. I haven't heard a single elected official start talking about constraining immigration, illegal principally, and even legal immigration against the interest of the American worker. What is going on here?
I really don't know. They hope this bill will create 3 to 4 million jobs. Heritage Foundation and National Center for Immigration Studies just released a report that said 300,000 illegal people will get jobs, construction jobs under this if this program is not utilized. So it's a significant portion of what is expected to be a jobs bill, a very poor jobs bill, I'm afraid, but it certainly will deny us a lot of good Americans good jobs that they would otherwise get.
Senator Sessions, thank you very much. Congressman Smith, thank you very much. Still ahead, the results of our